All right, it's saying we live. Well. Welcome in loves. Peace, peace, peace. Come on in here. Blissful rise, blissful evening, blissful afternoon, wherever you are chiming into. I am grateful for my day starting today. I say that's where it all starts, right? So, welcome into All Things Mastery broadcast, where we share all techniques, tips, tricks, teachings so we can get you where you want to be, from where you are from to where you want to be. And today is no different. So welcome to the All Things Mastery class this Wednesday. I hope all of you are doing absolutely amazing, because I know I am. Okay, so y'all know what we do here. Y'all know what we do here. All things how to get what and who you want. Say it with me. All things how you get what and who you want. No matter what or who it is possible. However, it isn't possible if you don't understand what you need to understand. And that's what we do here. We give you the information and the education so you can elevate. Ashay, so welcome in. Feel free to engage. Okay. So if that sounds like something you want to learn, comment yes in the comment section, or Ashay. Okay, because we're gonna commemorate this. We're gonna seal the deal, okay? Because y'all already know from the teachings that your words are powerful. Whatever you affirm in your mind, in your heart, when it is coherent. Guess what, Mika? How are you, my love? Hey. Welcome in. So, for those of you who are new to me, welcome, beautiful souls. Welcome, beautiful souls. My passion as a self mastery educator and mentor is always to teach you the proven systems and formulas to achieve whatever your heart desires, your dreams, your goals, your aspirations. And not only that, do it more quickly, more efficiently, more effectively, with less complications. How many of you know that it doesn't always have to be a complication? How many of you know that it doesn't always have to be a situation? How many of you know that it doesn't always have to be suffering? How many of you know that you can get whatever it is you want, whoever you want in your life? How many of you know that it is possible because of who you are, right? So I teach you these systems, proven systems that is going to assist you with what? If you are entrepreneur, it's going to assist you in your entrepreneurship, scaling your business, money alignment. For those of you who are having financial struggles, infinite gratitude. Hi, Tanya. Hi, my love. Entrepreneurship. Those of you who are ready to elevate and ascend to embody self mastery, not just talk about it, not just know about it, not just learn about it, but to embody it. Those who are finally ready to accelerate your healing, because how many of you know that we should not still be healing years later? Ashe. Yes. We should not be still healing. Some of us. Well, I did say many of us. Many of us should not still be healing 10 years later, and we still talking about, oh, I'm still traumatized. I'm still all that. So whatever it is you're going to, if you want to going through whatever you want to do, gain confidence, gain more peace, gain more clarity, remember who you are, your purpose, your passion, whatever it is. Abstract mind, how are you, my love? Peace. It is, listen, can I just say before we begin, before we continue, that I just love each and every one of you, especially those who continue to show up. I love seeing your faces and your names come through. Hi, my love. Hi. Right. And so in self mastery, I teach you all of these things, how to accelerate your growth, how to accelerate your ascension, how to accelerate in self mastery, how to accelerate your wealth, whatever that means to you, by teaching you universal principles and practices that govern your behaviors. Ashe, I do that by helping you reconstruct your old identity to your new identity. Because how many of you know you cannot create a new reality with your old identity? You need a new identity to create a new reality. So this is where we get into it. Ashe. I see you, Zeno. I'll get to you as soon as we are done with the live stream, the live class. I do this by teaching you how to understand your nervous system and the profound purpose that it plays in whatever you are wanting to manifest or create. I teach you energy, frequency, timeline jumping, because a lot of you think it's real hard and it's not. And today is no different. Today is no different. So if you are new here, put a new soul in the comments so we can appreciate you, so we can celebrate you, so we can welcome you with open arms. Okay, so we can put you in the spotlight, because here we celebrate one another. Here we help one another accelerate, right? And so, as a friendly reminder, I am an educator, I'm a mentor, okay? I'm not an entertainer. Even though we have fun over here, I'm not an entertainer. I am an educator. That's one of my purposes and my passions. And one of the things I do to help you reinforce and remember and retain what I teach you is the power of repetition, right? The power of repetition. So if you hear me repeating myself, don't worry about it, because what you feed gains power and what you starve loses its power. Star voice, how are you, my love? What you feed gains power and what you starve lose power. Queen Vanessa, oh, infinite gratitude, beautiful. I shade from one to another, infinite gratitude, right? So I use the power of repetition, not because I just like to hear myself repeat things. It is because when you repeat something, your retention gains the power, which means you begin starving the old and feeding the new. Because for some of you, for many of you, the things that I say, the teachings that I'm giving is very new to you. There are nuances. However, when I tell you, they are indisputable proven facts, systems, and operations and formulas that is really going to help you elevate to the next level, whatever your next level is. Do you understand what I'm saying? Repetition equals retention. What you repeat, you remember. And what you remember, you reinforce. Ashe? Divine, how are you, my love? Divine destiny. What you repeat, you enforce. So this is why repetition matters, right? So I need you all to understand that. So when I ask you to say yes, 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 or put an ashe in a comment, I am helping you to regain, to retain. Do you understand things that is going to help you elevate, whether you know it or not? Do you understand? I've been in my craft for 15 plus years and have been very successful. Lady KB, how are you, my love? So the more you have an opportunity to engage, right? Especially when you over here all things mastery, right? Your thought, your frequency, your behaviors, they get elevated, which means what? You get into alignment. You get more into alignment for the universe to give you exactly what you want, give you exactly what you need, right? So if that sounds like something you're interested in, put a yes, yes, yes in the comment section. Okay, because we here to break free. This is what we're doing. And today, oh my God, today, we're talking about breaking cycles. Yes, yes, yes. I see you, Tanya. Yes, yes, yes. I see you, Queenly. Yes, yes, yes. I see you. I see you, Abstract Mind. I see you, Yolanda. Do y'all understand what I'm saying? Because it's time out for working for people you don't want to work for. It's time out for you not living your absolute best life at least 80% of your days. It's time out for you working for others when you really want to work for yourself. It's time out from you struggling, from you living in survival mode, and you don't have to. You don't have to. Hi, Riri. How are you, my love? Infinite gratitude. Make sure y'all are getting your daily heart meeting. And after you do that, press it again so you can claim your reward. So, one of the things that I will remain true to is being completely transparent with you all. It is always my pleasure. It is always my honor to connect with you on deeper levels to forge healthy relationships. And the way we form healthy relationships is being transparent with one another, being honest, having integrity, being, living, thriving in our authenticity, respecting one another, having compassion for one another. Infinite gratitude, infinite gratitude, infinite gratitude. Thank y'all. Woo-hoo. We lit over here. I feel like turning on the music, but it's time to teach. It's time to teach, okay? Because sometimes this is for a lot of us, this is where we would actually sit still for a second and learn something that can actually help us elevate, right? So this is important. Infinite gratitude. I love it. I love it. Keep on claiming, because what you give, you receive. Let me say that again. What you give, you receive, and that can be on one side or the other, my love. So if you giving bullish, you gonna get bullish. But if you giving peace, prosperity, and elevation, you gonna get it back. If you're giving in love, love is gonna come to you. That's just physics. That's not just something cute to say. That's just physics. So welcome in all beautiful souls. Just so you know, for the beautiful souls that are new to me, my teachings are based upon the premises of metaphysics, energetics, quantum physics, neuroscience, manifestation, universal laws, meta laws that govern us, especially understanding consciousness, right? Because this is this is the far most profound difference between those people who are living their best life, not struggling. In no way. They're not struggling trying to gain peace. They're not struggling with clarity. They're not struggling in their health. They're not struggling in their minds. They're not struggling in their relationships. There are distinct differences as to why those people are and why most people aren't. Okay, but it doesn't mean that it isn't going to be possible for you. You just have to be willing to put in the work. Ashe, somebody put Ashe. And most importantly, okay, you have me to be with you. All of these proven steps and core teachings that I teach you, right? I've been doing for 15 plus years. They work. They work, right? So when I tell you, the more you feed something, the more it's going to grow. And it is a formula that I've curated and have been using and trademark. What you feed gains power. What you starve loses its power. It is a proven science that as long as you start feeding the things that you want to grow in your life, the more you start starving the things that you no longer want in your life. What does that mean? The more you focus on health, the more you're going to be healthy. The more you focus on wealth, prosperity, and peace, the more you're going to embody health, wealth, prosperity, and peace. But if you continue to embody and operate everything from the past, your traumas, your hurts, your pains, your disdains, all of the discomforts, bitching and moaning and complaining about what you don't have instead of being grateful for what you do have, the more your present becomes your past. And the more your future is going to be more like your past. So, guess what? You never get to experience the life that you were meant to. So when you knowingly or unknowingly start starving those thoughts, start correcting those thoughts by being more aware, by being more intentional, because a lot of us are misusing some of our most profound tools in incorrect ways, and we wondering why we're still on the struggle bus. We wondering why we aren't breaking unhealthy cycles. Do you understand what I'm saying? Some of you are in here right now are called to be a cycle breaker. Do you understand what I'm saying? Some of you in here right now was called to be a cycle breaker. And it is an honor. It is an honor Is it going to come with some challenges and some nuances? Absolutely. However, it is an honor to break generational unhealthy cycles. And that means poverty. That means an enslavement mentality. That means Stockholm syndrome. That means laziness. That means complacency. That means us stopping all of the generational unhealthy habits that come through our lines, that come through our DNA. Some of us was chosen to put a stop to and say, no, 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 no. My next generations, the generations to come, is going to know who they are because we're teaching them to remember who they are. The next generations is going to know that they are not purposed to be empowered or disempowered, but empowered. The new generation is going to know that they are purposed for far more greater than what they were told they were supposed to do, than what they were told they were supposed to be. I go to school for 10 years and go work for my cousin, and then when you finish slaving for him, I need you to go slave for his father. Some of us need to understand how to break unhealthy cycles, and if anybody else isn't willing to do that, I'm going to continue to do it. Ashe, see the evidence in my children, right? The way, the knowledge and wisdom and the conscious awareness that my children have, I didn't see that in my past. I didn't see that in my family. So there comes a times, hi, Money Blocks, be gone. How are you, my love? I like that name. I like that, right? So the way we do that is by going within, changing ourselves. You can't change you can't change the world unless you change your inner world first. Okay. So we're gonna be going into breaking dysfunctional, unhealthy habits. But before we do, y'all understand what we do over here. We always give honor where honor is due. So let's take a moment and give honor. Infinite gratitude to the infinite source that gives us life. Infinite gratitude to nature, infinite gratitude to the infinite source of creation, infinite gratitude for us being selected and chosen to be one with and in co-creation. Infinite gratitude to our ancestors who continually guide, protect us, right? Lead us in the right direction, nudge us even when we don't want to, even when we're not ready to. Infinite gratitude to all infinite beings, and that includes you. Infinite gratitude to you, Ashe, because no one is forcing you to be here, taking a moment out of your space to learn something. There is no elevation without education. You understand what I'm saying? So, here in these classes, we always journey in the core interplays between who you are now and who you want to be, where you are now and where you want to be. How many of you know that there is a formula to everything? And if you don't have that formula, guess what? You're not going to create it. For every destination, there is a path, right, Riri? That is a absolute, there is a formula for everything. There is a recipe for everything. Even if you put your own little razzle dazzle on it, there's a formula and a recipe for everything. And if you don't understand that, then you're not co-creating the experiences that you want to experience. You're doing more of repeating unhealthy behavior cycles. So understanding your design is imperative to how you're experiencing life. Understanding, being more consciously aware that you are not only repeating the unhealthy behavioral cycles of your ancestors, some of them that didn't choose to break the unhealthy cycle, you're also repeating your past, right? So there's no rhyme, reason, justifications, or excuses why we're not elevating, because people will invest in what they value. People will invest in what and who they value. Meaning, if you're not numero uno on your list, with all due respect and with all sincerity, you are not a priority. If you are feeding everything and everybody else on your list, guess what? You are telling yourself and telling the universe you are not a priority. Money blocks be gone. Infinite gratitude for the support follow. And we don't want to do that. You understand what I'm saying? You need to prioritize you over everything else. There are reasons why a lot of us are still experiencing burnout. There's a reason why a lot of our bodies and minds are thrown off of the natural algorithm. There's a reason why we're unhealthy. There are reasons why we're mentally unstable. There are reasons why we are suffering. There are reasons why we keep going over and over the same loops, running on that dysfunctional hamster wheel cycle of life that some of y'all think y'all are going somewhere with. Infinite gratitude, right? So in order to break something, and hold on, let me rephrase that. You cannot repair something if you're not aware that it's broken. So numero uno is to be aware of the unhealthy cycles that you're operating in. And that don't mean shame yourself. That don't mean stress yourself out. That don't mean don't give yourself grace. That doesn't mean keep harping on and keep feeding that same energy. What's done is done. What matters is what you're doing now. That's what matters. So there's a lot of us who are struggling, and you don't have to struggle. We struggle because one of the primary reasons why so many of us are overwhelmed, stressed out, unhappy, unhealthy, are experiencing diseases and illnesses in the body and in the mind, experiencing cognitive dissonance, all of the things is because a lack of education, which means a lot of us are going through the things that we should not be going through in most cases because we are ignorant to what we need to change. So it's not, you don't have a money problem. Some of y'all don't even have a trust problem. A lot of y'all don't have a forging healthy relationship problem. A lot of y'all don't have an elevation problem or acceleration problem or an unhealed problem. Y'all have a lack of understanding problem. Y'all have a lack of education problem. And that's where I come in. So first and foremost, you need to understand that I was once you, which is why I can speak the way I speak and I do it in love, because I was once the one that had mommy and daddy issues. I was the one that was exchanging my body just to feel the love of a man, because what I didn't know, the ignorance in me, right? Didn't understand that I was really seeking, my soul was seeking, I was seeking belonging to my father. I wanted the love of my father. And many of us young ladies understand that, right? We go through these unhealthy cycles of choosing the wrong men in our lives because we didn't have a father figure in our life or a divine masculine energy in our life via the experience of being to show us that we are worthy and valuable. And you don't have to exchange that to get this. You can still operate in honor and integrity without doing those things that's going to do what in the long run? Hurt you instead of help you. Because what do we understand today? The universe responds to what it was created to respond to. So it doesn't care whether you're ignorant or not. The law of cause and effect states that for every cause, there is an effect, and for every effect, there is a cause. So it didn't matter that I was ignorant to, hey, if you go over there to that boy house and you have sex, you could potentially get pregnant. The universe didn't care because it cannot violate its own laws. And the law states that for every action, there's a reaction. And because I acted, even though in ignorance, because I didn't know any better, the universe didn't care. The consequences for that, the reaction for that is I became a young mother who didn't even realize who Venus was yet. So when I tell you I understand having mommy and daddy issues, when I tell you I understand what abandonment wounds feel like, what loneliness feels like, what grief feels like, what losing people, just losing your mind, I understand what trying to commit suicide is because I attempted twice. But somebody say but now in the comments. Somebody put but now in the comments. When you want to understand something, there ain't nothing or nobody that's going to stop you. I needed to understand. I see you, money, infinite gratitude. I see you, big chef. I see you, Cuzzo. I needed to understand why I was feeling the way I was feeling, why I was up one minute, down the next, up, down. I was tired of playing ping pong with my energy. I was tired of playing ping pong with my integrity. I see you, Quiet Storm, but now I was tired of violating myself. I was tired of disrespecting myself. I was tired of laying with these no good fucking men that wasn't even worth the 3 minutes in the first fucking place, thinking that I was going to receive some type of validation or love that was never purpose for them to give me in the first place. I had to stop thinking that I would never make the money that I want to make because why? My parents was broke. The people around me was broke. All I seen was struggle. All I seen was hustling. All I seen was working backwards. I had to understand those things for myself. Why? Because what many of you don't know is you should be grateful for everything you've been through right now. Put an ashe in the comments. I want you to start being grateful for everything you have ever went through because now I am able to transmute energy. Now I understand what self-mastery is. Now I understand what depression is so I can block it. Now I understand what an unhealthy behavioral cycle is so I can stop it and block it. Especially when it comes down to my children. I needed to understand how my mental work. I needed to understand how my mind works. I needed to understand my power that I was misusing and abusing. I needed to understand my divine femininity and my divine masculinity. I needed to understand those things for myself. And 15 years later, I have helped countless of women remember who they are and start moving with integrity. Start moving like they are superior because you are. And that's not something cute. I need you to start to relearn and remember who you are. According to all the indisputable facts, baby, you are mother. You are the divine oracle. You are divine intelligence. You are the womb that births everything. Why do you think they keep referring to the universe as the womb? Why do you think we were chosen to be nurturers, to be the portal? Why do you think we embody the XX chromosome? And that's all caps. Do you understand what I'm saying? A lot of us didn't understand a lot of these things. We didn't understand what an unhealthy behavioral pattern was. We didn't understand that, right? But today, we gonna learn. We gonna learn today. Infinite gratitude for sharing the live, my love. Infinite gratitude. We gonna share the infinite gratitude. Continue to that's our exchange. The law of exchange. Continue to do this. Continue to do that. Continue to do all the things because we're not gonna act like we're oblivious to the platform that we on. Okay, more people need to hear this message, and the more of us that consciously connects together, the more of us that elevates. Because how many of you know what you do don't just impact you? What you do don't just impact your immediate family. I see you, Miss Millen Expert. I see you, my love. Hello. Peace. I will respond to you after the audience. Ashe, we're going to understand these things because you can't break. You cannot stop anything if you're not aware of it. You cannot reform, rebuild anything if you haven't accepted that is broken. And a lot of your spirits are broken. Let's just be transparent and real for a moment. A lot of your spirits, a lot of your spirits are broken. A lot of your hope is broken. A lot of your motivation is broken. Your energy, your essence is broken. And it don't have to be. Ashe, it don't have to be. You don't have to keep going around in these unhealthy loops. You do not have to do that. I'm here to serve notice. When you start remembering who you are, the more you, what do they say? When the student is ready, the teacher will appear. Okay? So this lesson, breaking unhealthy cycles, we're going to delve into the nature of cycles because you can't fix something you don't understand. You can't even be something you don't understand. You let alone do something you don't understand. This is why the universe responds to clarity. So if you don't have clarity and not aware that you are repeating unhealthy cycles, that is pure ignorance. Because after you become aware of a cycle, you're no longer in the category of not being aware. You're in the category of I'm gonna keep doing this anyway, whether you like it or not, because you're not understanding why, the inner why of why you keep repeating the unhealthy cycle. So we're gonna dive into these unhealthy cycles, which is going to give you a deeper understanding of how these cycles are formed through the lens of not a shallow understanding, however, through the lens of neuroscience and key factors that are contributing to the experiences that you are experiencing. Ashe, 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 infinite gratitude for all of the movement, raising the energy. This is what we do. We were created to co-create and to do what we do, right? So by the end, you will have a clear grasp on why unhealthy cycles persist in your life and how to begin the process of breaking them for good, not repairing them. We don't want to repair unhealthy behavior patterns. We want to break them. We want to rid ourselves of them so we can stop handing down dysfunction to our children and their children and their children. Talk about we love our family. Well, do we? Well, do we? What's your perception of love? We spoke about perception in the last masterclass on Monday. We spoke about perception. So I'm going to let you know what it is, how it is. Okay, give you everything you need for the objectives of you diving deeper into recognizing the signs of your unhealthy behavior cycles, understanding the neuroscience behind the formation of these unhealthy cycles, and identifying 5 primary contributors of how these cycles are formed so you can be rid of them for good. How many of you know you cannot put a band-aid on a broken pipe? Because eventually the pressure of that water is going to burst the pipe. And because a lot of you are ignoring the unhealthy cycles, you continually get overwhelmed, stressed out, right? And you don't have to be. So we want to teach on how to break these unhealthy cycles. Okay. Now y'all may see me looking every different directions because I'm streaming on multiple platforms. Let me just take a moment to give you all your flowers. Thank you so much, Money Blocks. Be gone. Thank you, Cuzzo. Thank you, infinite gratitude, Shantae, infinite gratitude, my love. Ashe, I see you, Yolanda. I see you. Infinite gratitude, Riri. Infinite gratitude to all of you, right? So let's dive a little bit deeper into breaking these cycles. First, understanding what they are. So when you dive a little bit deeper into the cycles, it reveals itself. Ain't nothing new under the sun. Nothing is new. Ain't nothing new under the sun. Patterns don't repeat because you are cursed. Give me a second, because I need some of y'all to sit with that. Because there's some of y'all there are some of y'all that have accepted that your bloodline is cursed. So why learn? Why keep making efforts? Why keep trying to improve? Why try to break the cycle? Why try to break? A lot of you think that you are cursed because of your family. And I'm here to serve notice that that isn't true. It is a lie. But a lot of you have accepted it, and a lot of people you know have accepted it. Patterns don't repeat because you are cursed. Patterns repeat because you are unconscious of what's going on. You are unaware of what's going on. You are unaware of the first break in the loop. You are unaware of the cycle. You're not cursed, and your bloodline isn't cursed. We don't repeat unhealthy curses. We repeat unhealthy behavior patterns. And I'm going to dive deep into the reasons why I draw into the metaphysical part, why I draw from the quantum part, why I draw from the consciousness part, because they are imperative for you understanding what you need to know. A cycle is a repetitive sequence of behaviors, repetitive thoughts, repetitive emotions that follow predictable patterns. So can you really say it's not my fault? It's not my fault, right? Because a lot of us blame it on our mamas. Oh, my mother did this. My mother did that. My father did this. My grandma did that. My sister did that. It runs in my family. Stop making excuses for your unwillingness to change. Stop making justification, rhymes, or reason for your unwillingness to change. It's not that you can't change. It's that you're choosing not to change. Why? Because change requires you to be uncomfortable. Change requires you to relearn some things. And a lot of y'all are misusing y'all tools, and y'all curse yourself all the time with cymatics. What do you mean by cymatics, Venus? Language is cymatic. Language is sound. Language is the universal language. Language is also a tool that you have to create or destroy. So when you continually say, oh, that runs in my family, alcoholism runs in my family, cancer runs in my family, mental disease, dysfunctions run in my family, the more you say that you're doing what you feed grows, and what you starve loses power, loses its essence. What do you think you're saying to the 75 trillion cells on your body that is conscious when you keep saying, oh, heart cancer or lung cancer or any type of cancer or mental disorders or whatever it is, or poverty, or runs in my family? What do you think you're telling the universe? What do you think you're commanding yourselves? What do you think you're programming? What do you think you're recycling? Hence, breaking unhealthy cycles. So we're not understanding that we're misusing the tools that we have to starve what we know. Why would you want to put that on yourself, on your life? Okay, we know that mama had it, daddy had it, grandma had it, they mothers, somebody in the family. We all know that they experienced it, and it's not irrelevant. It's not unimportant. I'm not trying to diminish. I'm not trying to diminish. That's not my goal, to diminish. My goal is to bring awareness that you are putting that on yourself as well. That is a generational unhealthy cycle, because when you start understanding your chemistry, when you start understanding your nervous system, how it's built, how it's created, when you start understanding how your neurological systems work, how your neural networks work, how they conform to what you're saying, to the sounds and the vibrations of your word. It's not that your family have it as to the reason why you have it. You have it because you kept saying you wanted it, whether you know it or not. You kept claiming it year after year after year after year. You kept claiming it. And I'm here to serve notice that you can choose to disclaim it, because what is available on one side is also available on the other side. You are the only one that can choose which side you're going to choose. Choose this day. Choose, what it say? Choose ye this day whom you will serve. Choose this day what cycle you will break. Choose this day what cycle you will continually repeat. Choose already, because you can't be both the victim and the victor at the same damn time. You either want to be the victim or the victor. You either want to be the powerful or the powerless. You either want to accelerate and grow, or you want to devolve and descend. Only you can decide that. Okay, so understand that cycles is repetitive sequences of behaviors. Nobody's forcing you to say what you're saying. Nobody's forcing you to do what you do. Nobody is forcing you to keep going down them paths, keep choosing the wrong person that keeps showing you they don't love you, they don't care about you, they don't give a damn about calling you, don't give a damn about texting you, whether it's a romantic partner or a family or a friend. You're the one that continues to allow them in your vortex. You're the one that's continually to allow them to cipher off the most invaluable essence, and that is your life force. Nobody is forcing you to do anything. But when you continue with, one of the reasons why we continually repeat these unhealthy sequences and cycles is due to many things. And the primary one is simply, and this is going to be a tough one, so put ouch in the comment section now. Somebody put ouch in the comment section right now, because what I'm going to say going to sting you. But it's in love. It is with love. It is with respect. It is with sincerity. But I came here not to comfort you. I came to speak to your spirit and to your soul. I came to disrupt every neurological dysfunction, every heart dysfunction, every mental dysfunction, every behavioral function, if you allow me to. So just say ouch right now. A lot of you are where you are is simply due to you not wanting to heal bad enough. You don't want a healthy relationship bad enough. You don't want prosperity bad enough. You don't want to live bad enough. Not while you keep saying, oh, this runs in my family and that runs in my family and that. You don't want what you want bad enough, because baby, if you did, you will do whatever it takes to not continue to do whatever it is that is causing you to descend. I see the ouches. Believe it, trust me. There's been many times I looked at, let me tell you something. There's been plenty of times I had, listen, a lot of times these messages isn't only for you, they are for me too, because you are me, I am you, we are we. We together are powerful. And we together can hold ourselves accountable in righteousness, right? But that's going to require something of us. That is going to require you to be uncomfortable. That's going to require you to disassociate. That's going to require you to move away from certain people in your life. That's going to require you to stop being so deaf, dumb, and docile. That's going to require you to stop being so fucking, ooh, child, hold on, Venus. It's going to require you to stop being so humble. It's going to require you to disrupt your norm. Ashe, it's going to require you to say no and mean it. Not just repeat it, say no and mean it. Not because you said so, because you're not allowing no one, place, people, or thing to disrupt your elevation no more. You're not gonna be silent anymore. You're not gonna dim your light anymore. You're not gonna dial your intellect down anymore. You're not gonna continue to be and act like you're inferior because they told you that them other people were superior. You're not gonna act like you don't belong in that room no more. You're not gonna like what you gotta say is important anymore. You're not gonna act like you're not powerless anymore. You're gonna start acting like you're powerful. You're gonna start remembering who you are. You're gonna start having the confidence to say no, and that is it. You're gonna start having the confidence to know that you are qualified and that there ain't nobody externally, there ain't nobody that you need validation. You know why? Because you are already validated. Your superiority is your consciousness. Your superiority is your melanin. Your superiority is your construct, your makeup. This is indisputable facts. If you don't trust me, just go read for yourself, baby. And I don't only mean read books, I mean read your DNA. Some of y'all missed that. Some of y'all missed that. Don't just read external books. I'm not, now hear me and hear me well. I'm not telling you to stop reading external books, but what I am telling you is to begin reading your internal book. And if you don't understand that, let me remind you, your DNA is information. Not only is it profound, ancient, meta, sacred information, it holds every source of resource, of energy, of information covering all things. Why? Because your DNA is all things. Why do you think they want you so bad? Your internal book is within you. If you have never ever, there are people right now who are literal geniuses in their right that have only read a few books. Why are they geniuses? Why are they so intellectual? Why are they able to speak from metaphysics, from science, from quantum physics? Why are they able to have and embody this form of metacognition? Why are they able to tap into sacred geometry and sacred information, not having read, because they understand that they are the internal book, that they embody the internal book. All you need to do is stop being so unwilling and start making yourself a priority. And when I mean make yourself a priority, not your children, not your husband, not your boyfriend, not your girlfriend, not your grandchildren, not your spouses or partners, not your friends, not your family, not your bosses and their bosses, not your fellow co-workers. Not nobody should come before you filling up your own cup, and whatever you need in your cup, only you know that. That's not being selfish. That's the most selfless thing you can do. Cycles are the brain way of creating efficiency. The more you repeat a thing, the more that thing grows. By repeating certain behaviors or responses, your supercomputer of a brain reduces the energy needed for decision making, which is why so many of you are so discombobulated, why so many of you are so unclear as to where to go, when to go, why to go, how to go, anywhere you need to do, what to say, when to say it, how to say it, why you're saying it. Understand the consequences. Warning, warning. Unhealthy cycles can help you or hurt you. Unhealthy cycles can, healthy cycles, healthy cycles can reinforce Positive habits. Remember, this is not as hard as some of you may think. I know it may sting, but it isn't hard as some of you think because of the lies we've been told. We've been told from multiple people that, oh, you're always going to be healing. That's a lie. You're always going to be suffering. That's a lie. You have to sacrifice in order to get this. That you will never become a millionaire or billionaire if you're not willing to lose sleep. That you're not going to do this or be able to do that. All of that is their lies. That's keeping you bound and running on that dysfunctional hamster wheel of a life cycle you call progress. Just because you moving don't mean you moving in the right direction. Just because you're moving don't mean you're moving in the righteous direction. That's not what moving means. Energy isn't stagnant. Nothing is still in the multiverse or in this universe or in this realm. Everything moves. But if you do not understand meta principles like the law of correspondence, the meta principle of cause and effect, the meta principle of rhythm, the meta principle of gender, the meta principle of rhythm, the meta principle of reciprocity, you will never understand that you are either going to do one or the other. You're either moving up or down. You're either moving to the right or to the left. You're either moving forward or backwards, right? You get to determine that. Mostly. Ashe, you get to determine that to determine that mostly. However, if you're not aware, and if you continually not choose you in all the ways that I said you need to be choosing you, without this information, what do you expect to change? Change doesn't come by way of just thinking about it. Change doesn't come just by way of speaking about it. Change doesn't come and is not materialized simply by visualizing it. Change comes by combining all of those important imperative resources and acting on them. Ashe? And we need to understand this, right? So what's the neuroscience of it all? Ashe, am I making sense? Because I don't ever want y'all to leave here and you do not understand what I'm talking about. So if you have a question, ask and I will do my best. But when I am teaching, okay, when you start understanding more of who you are, I dwell, right? My primordial essence, my primary essence is a Gemini. I'm the intellectual. I dwell both in the spirit realm and in this realm. I am a transmuter, a transcender. I transmute information from both realms, especially the higher realm to give to you. So a lot of times, don't think that I'm ignoring you. I don't see you. I understand. However, I must be obedient to my purpose and my passion and what I'm supposed to do because I understand the consequences if I don't. So, what is the neuroscience behind cycle creation? Because your brain doesn't repeat what's right. It repeats what's familiar. That's why pigs continually run to shit because they're so used to being fed shit. They don't know how to eliminate the shit and say no to shit like most of us. Right? Ouch. That may sting a little bit. Our brain isn't wired to differentiate from what's real and from what's imaginative. It only responds to the frequency. Let me correct that. It only responds to the dominant frequency. That's why you can feel something and not attract the thing that you're feeling, because you're unaware of whatever that feeling is. It's not strong enough to pull into this reality or to be materialized. This is why, even though some of y'all speak positive affirmations, I'm beautiful, I'm sexy, I'm wealthy, I'm rich, I'm this, I'm that. And it's not to say you aren't all of those things already, because we exist on multiple realities. Because if you didn't, you wouldn't even be able to even think it, say it, speak it, visualize it. However, if you do not understand the neuroscience, right, the psyche, how it plays an imperative role in creating the cycles that you are repeating to this day, the stronger wins. So meanwhile, you can be saying, yeah, I'm beautiful, but in your subconscious lies a stronger thought that you've been feeding knowingly or unknowingly that says, I'm not beautiful. And the universe is not going to choose the one that is weakest. It's going to choose the one that is stronger, that is louder, that is polarized, that is all in, and you don't even realize it. So this is why simply speaking affirmations don't work. And I know a lot of you know that, right? Because a lot of you got the same New Year's resolutions that you had from 10 years ago. And not near one of them came true. And if they came true, they don't exist in your reality now. Why? Because you don't get to keep what you don't cultivate, what you don't understand. Cultivation is a big part of retaining something, right? Ashe, Ashe, do y'all understand? Do y'all understand? The brain cycles through a process called neuroplasticity. Okay. What that means is that the brain is able to be stretched, to be pulled. It is shapeless, it's formless, it's infinite. I see you, abstract mind. It's infinite, right? So, where things are repeated and behaviors are created from those repeated thoughts, from those repeated feelings, right? Because your thoughts are the electro signals. Your heart is the electro biochemical magnetic field that draws the thing to you based upon the power, the frequency of it, the magnetism. So if the magnetism in your heart is more lower, that's what you're going to keep drawn into. So this is why you hear things like raise your vibration, raise your frequency, stop consuming shit and eliminate it. Minimize your consumption, protect your energy, because if you're not protecting it, someone else is ciphering it. Ashe, Spirit Priestess, Infinite Gratitude. Make sure y'all get y'all daily heart meeting. Make sure y'all also re-tap in to claim your points. Right? So it really doesn't matter. It really, you have to understand these things. This is what sacred societies knew. This is how the supposedly the seemingly empowered stay empowered and continue to disempower you, because they know if you are not consciously aware of who you are, if you do not understand that everything is energy, you will continually vibrate so low, your bioelectromagnetic field, which is your aura, will continually remain susceptible to it being siphoned off. Everything in creations need in creation, and that was created needed energy to be created. So if you're not protecting your energy, guess what? Someone else is ciphering it off. Something else is ciphering it off. And if you do not understand me, if you don't think that frequency and vibration is power, if you do not think it can control your behaviors, go to the gym and expect to have a phenomenal workout all while listening to Beethoven. Try it and don't even come back and tell me how that went. I want you to understand how energy works. The reason why a lot of us know how to ride a bike to this day and we haven't ridden bikes in years is because the repetition, because we have ridden bikes for so long, for so many years, it's just like muscle memory. Well, your conscious has conscious memory. Your body has body memory. This is why they say your body remembers. And whenever you are in the process of retraining, you have to understand that your body's defense mechanism system is going to automatically reject what it hasn't been accepting for the duration that it hasn't been accepting. Your body is automatically going to reject what's uncomfortable because it don't know any better. So the minute you decide that you want to do something good, that you want to do something great, your body and your mind remembers that no, we've been lazy, we've been forgetful, we've been not even on our priority list. Your mind and body remembers all of the stories you told of all of your past traumas, your past hurts, your past illnesses, what your family continued. Your body and your mind remember. So now you're just operating on autopilot, i.e., recycling unhealthy behavior patterns. Somebody say yes, yes in the comment section if you understand me. If you understand what I just said, type yes, yes in the comment section. Ashe, Chef, how are you? Ashe, I see you, Big Chef. I see you. I see you, Money. Ashe, yes, yes, yes. You have the ability to change, but you never will if you're not willing to sit down and be still. You have the ability to change if you're willing to sit still. It's not that you're incapable. It's that you're knowingly or unknowingly choosing not to. So it's time to be responsible. It's time to be accountable. And it is definitely time to break unhealthy behavioral patterns that you created and that some of your ancestors created. No more excuses, no more justification, no more rhyme or reason as to why you don't know what you know, because there are too many qualified educators out there that can help you along your way, and I am one of them. And many of you know me. Many of you are mentees. I don't notice I didn't say of. Of course, I'm your mentor, but you're not mine. I'm not yours. We work together. There are way too many qualified people out here that can help you relearn the things that you need to remember. There are many qualified educators, mentors, and coaches that can help you realign yourself with what and who you desire to materialize it into this reality. What's also another fact is that a lot of them same qualified people don't give a damn about you. They don't give a damn about how bad you want it, how bad you actually need their services. And it's okay to need one another. No tree stands alone in the forest. There's a lot of them same qualified mentors and educators who embody what I embody, and that is mastery. But you don't have and cannot have gain access to them without spinning bands on top of bands. Okay? So whenever I present an opportunity to you, and I say this with sincerity, compassion, whenever I present an opportunity for you to help you, help me. Don't let your mind, your old patterns of thought trick you out of your destiny. Don't let your unhealthy behavior patterns trick you out of your elevation and ascension. Don't do that. Don't do that. Okay? Whatever it is you want, you have to understand the law of exchange. We have to get, especially for those of you who want money, whenever money is mentioned, it's like your frequency goes from 100 to 0. How do you want money in your life? How do you want to generate consistent income? How do you want to break generational poverty? How do you want to do all of those things when you're so uncomfortable talking about money? When you are itching and crawling with bugs every time you spend $1, don't you understand that money is energy too? That's a part of breaking the cycle. So a lot of you want more consistent money, but you're not willing to get out of your own way. You're not willing to get uncomfortable. How do you want more money if you don't even, if you're so scared and anxious and start having anxiety the moment, yes, it's going to cost you something. Because that's a meta law. There must be an exchange. There will always be an exchange. And guess what? You will always exchanging something for something. However, when you understand, when you start making you a priority, there should be no excuses as to why you're not investing in your elevation. And if you continually think that you're not going to ever exchange money, exchange currency, guess what? You are going to stay broke and in poverty and in lack, because you're not willing to invest in yourself. And even some of y'all that do don't even show up for you. How do you want the world to show up for you? How do you want your ancestors to back you up? How do you want to get what you want to get? How do you want somebody to come to your events? How do you want somebody to support you and love on you and care for you and listen to you and be there for you when all you keep showing us is you don't even give a damn about you? Make that make sense, Vanessa, Sarah? I didn't say Vanessa because some of y'all, there may be, I've seen a Vanessa in here earlier. I didn't want to think I was talking about her. How do you want? How? Come on, Sway. How, Sway? How, Sway? You're not even showing up for you. I was sharing this with my cousin one of the moderators in the comment section. And when she joined the All Things Mastery Infinity Circle community, right? We had a conversation when I asked her, I wanted her to be a part of it. And I was like, it don't matter what the mentees are doing. It don't matter if the mentees are not utilizing the resources that is there. It does not matter. What matters is that I show up. What matters is that I fulfill my purposes. What matters is what I do. Just because I care about you don't mean that I'm going to force you to elevate. Just because I walk with you don't mean that I'll walk for you. That's not what my purpose is. I'm not walking for you, talking for you, thinking for you, acting for you, gaining for you. I'm not doing none of that. What I will do and what I am fulfilling and purpose to do is do all of those things with you. So I will be an inspiration with you. I will walk with you. I will talk with you. I will act with you. I will celebrate with you. I will applaud with you. I will work with you. But if you are not present, if you don't show up, what is there to work with? But you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to keep working it because I'm seeing the progress in my life. We talk about a lot of things, a lot of beautiful things that is happening. However, I guarantee you there's a lot of magical things happening in my life right now. A lot of magical things. You know why? Because I am constantly showing up for myself. I don't scurry at the sound when money is mentioned. Why? Because I am in flow with currency. I am in the flow of overflow. I am in the flow of abundance of all things that I love, enjoy, and that I need to elevate. I am in the flow of acceleration. I am in the flow of healthy relationships. I am in the flow of being supported and loved on and adored by many people. I am in the flow of infinite consciousness. I am in the flow of mastery. I show up for myself even when I don't want to. And I'm always transparent in telling you all that. There are days when I don't feel like teaching. There are days when I don't feel like eating good. There are days when I don't feel like it just because I don't feel like it. But guess what? I still make steps. It doesn't matter if they're micro or macro. I still take action. Why? Because I care about me. Why? Because I want what I want bad enough. And when you get to wanting what you want bad enough, you'll stop making excuses as to why you keep repeating unhealthy cycles of poverty, as to why you keep repeating unhealthy cycles of trash mouth. Now, I don't mean using profanity. I mean you continually speaking curses and spells over you that is not uplifting you. It is dragging you down and it is dragging all your loved ones down. Yes, yes, yes. The glow is speaking for you. The light around you is speaking for you. Ashe. Your energy will, Ashe, infinite gratitude. Infinite gratitude, Queen. Your energy will always precede you. Your energy will always precede you. You don't have to say a word. And we also talk about, because I teach all things, everything has to do with mastery. What does that mean? That doesn't mean that you have to be a master at everything. But it does mean that you need to learn how to master and govern yourself accordingly, according to your infinite divinity. There are some things that are not exclusions. There are some things that are not exceptions. And you are not an exception to the meta rules and the meta laws. So when I speak, when I'm able to pull from different categories and speak about relationships, not only with others, but with yourself, when I speak about divine femininity and divine masculinity, when I speak about tapping into your femininity, your sensual, your sexual, and either your seductive energy, because you are a divine co-creator, and one of your superpowers is your sensuality. Now, what does that mean? I'm not saying that you got to flirt. That doesn't mean go flirting with people you see. That means understanding that your sensuality, you loving on yourself and your body in every aspect, every scar, every bruise, everything, and you still adore and appreciate it. And that means you are caring about what you adorn yourself with. We come from a warrior line. There are some of our ancestors, many of them, oh, let me take that back. Many of our ancestors showed up and body royalty. They cared about how they look, how they presented themselves. They care about how they hygiene. They care about how they spoke. They care about how they walk. They cared about their integrity. They cared about their essence. They cared about their presentation, all while being true to themselves. Some of y'all want to some of y'all want to attract certain men and women, and you looking all types of fucking crazy. All types of crazy. Does that mean you have to wear the latest designers? No. But at least care about yourself. Fix your face. Fix your hair. Fix yourself. Care about what's preceding you. Care enough about you. Because your children are watching. Others are watching. Your ancestors are watching. The universe is watching your every move. And if you are continually sending innuendos, subliminal messages, even if you don't realize it, the universe is listening. Why? Because it's always waiting to give you exactly what you're asking for. So why wouldn't you be aware of what you need to do to get yourself into alignment so you can get more of what you actually really want? Which is the vitality and the will and the drive. Notice I didn't say inspiration and motivation this time. To do what you need to do, because sometimes you're not going to have the inspiration. Sometimes you're not going to have the motivation to break these generational unhealthy cycles. Sometimes you're just not going to want to do it. But if you embody the will to do, now that's something that cannot be excluded. That's something that's going to precede you. That's something that's going to uplift you. That's something that's going to keep driving you forward instead of backward, upward instead of downward. Ashe? Yes, yes, yes. We're not even gonna. Well, what about genetics? We know that certain genetics, certain our behaviors are passed down from our ancestors. We know that. So while genes don't die, listen. While genes don't directly determine our actions, they also create little pockets of making it easier to continue the unhealthy behavior and to continue pushing that cycle forward. But understand that that's no excuse why you're not moving forward. Ashe? Are we getting it? Infinite gratitude. Come on, y'all. We should be more than 26.9. Okay. We are a powerful bunch. We should be more than 269 right now. Let's get it going. The law of exchange, the law of reciprocity. Okay. You can do it. We can do it. Ashe. Move, 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 move. Get that energy flowing. Get that energy going. Hi, mommy. Move, 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 move. Get that energy going. Move, 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 move. Get that energy flowing. Hey, move, 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 move. Get that energy going. Hey, move, 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 move. Get that energy flowing. Come on now. We got to get with it. These baby, the smallest, the microscopic jewels. Hope that y'all catching. Okay, because this is it's one of the reasons why everything I do is accelerated. It's one of the reasons, because I understand it. You gotta move. You gotta move. You gotta move. Stagnant energy is wasteful energy. Stagnant energy is wasteful energy. And if you keep telling the universe that you're stagnant, that you don't know which way you want to go, the universe is going to do what? Continue to give you more and more of your past, because that's the only thing it's familiar with at this time. Okay? Do we understand? Do we understand it? Okay? Did y'all notice I didn't put on my assistance yet? Do y'all realize? Do also y'all boys also were some of you aware that every time I put up my elbow to see the comments? Infinite gratitude. Notice that I don't have my handy dandy assistance. Okay. Notice I don't have my handy dandy assistance. I also want you to understand something that I just demonstrated. Because what I do is intentional. What I just demonstrated right then and there by bringing up my assistance was the live example of how concrete, deeply embedded behavior patterns are. Because every time I go live, I'm wearing my assistance, right? I know a lot of you know that. A lot of you even correlate me with the glasses. A lot of y'all who are vets know that I used to wear these. Back to the demonstration, because what I did was intentional. See, and I love frames, and it's not that I'm going to stop wearing them. I love frames. I love my assistants, right? It's a part of my makeup right now. It's a part of my presentation right now. And that was by design. But notice that I didn't have them on up until this point. And because I've been wearing them for so long, especially on live, guess what kicked in? Guess what was going on in my mind? Guess what came up from my subconscious into my conscious? Venus, where are your glasses? You don't have your glasses on. You don't have your assistants. How many of you understand that? That's how behavior patterns start. That's how behavior patterns continue, whether they are healthy or unhealthy. Do you understand? Because I've been wearing them for so long, because I've been doing the motion for so long, sitting in this chair, or whatever chair I'm in. Well, I'm in Thailand right now, so my office is in Thailand, right? But even when I was in New York, my setup, it is almost identical. I have a certain pair of my handy dandy assistants near me, and my body and mind have been in practice of putting them on, grabbing them, finding them, choosing them for so long. It is now an embedded behavior pattern. That's how it starts. In my condo, the bathroom in my master bedroom, it has a short ledge that you actually have to step over to get into the bathroom. Now I'm not going to get into the why that is. However, what I am going to say is that because I'm so aware, because I've been practicing awareness, because I embody awareness and mastery for so long, it didn't take long for me, my body, to unconsciously start stepping over the doorway, the step in the doorway. So I wouldn't trip. Because at first I was tripping. Why? Because that wasn't an embedded program. So my body and my mind wasn't used to me stepping into my bathroom. So in the beginning, I was tripping, especially when I got up in the nighttime. But I want you to understand behavioral patterns and cycles doesn't adhere to time the way we adhere to time to. Does that make sense? I've been here 4 months now. It was within the first month that I gained that awareness that, you know what? I'm automatically stepping over. I'm automatically, my foot, my legs, it's automatically stepping over the gap. And it's a big enough gap without even realizing it, without even paying attention to it. It's now on autopilot. So when I spoke about neuroplasticity, your brain's ability to stretch and pull, and that it is formless, that it can conform and reform and reconfigurate, you need to understand that in order for you to intentionally break the unhealthy patterns. Infinite gratitude, my love, right? So that was a really good ashe. That was a really good ashe. I love me some assistance. Ashe. Okay, consequences of not breaking unhealthy cycles. Now, this is what, and we are nearing to the until next time, the close of this master class, breaking unhealthy cycles. I taught you about consequences. I teach my children and have always have. There are two things that you're going to get with every decision you decide to act on. You're going to get a consequence or you're going to get a reward. And I held to it. Till this day, I hold myself accountable. So this is why when you understand the severity of your behaviors, when you understand the severity of the consequences that will come, not if they come, can they come, that will come with every decision you make. You'll start being more intentional about the decisions that you make, about the decisions that you don't make. Just because you don't make a decision don't mean you're making a decision. Whether you consciously making it or unconsciously making it, it's still a decision being made. Right? Periscope, how are you, love? Hi. What you don't fix remains broken. What you don't repair remains broken. What you don't stop repeats. And then it becomes your identity. So a lot of us have the identity of brokenness and just views and we carry this identity. A lot of us can sense it from miles away. Right? Because energy don't lie. Your aura don't lie. And there are those of us that have certain spiritual meta gifts. We can easily sense when someone is desperate without them even showing that they're desperate. We can easily sense when someone has a low frequency or when someone's bioelectromagnetic field is low or when someone's bioelectromagnetic field is high. We can sense it. Those who, what do you think intuition means? It means that you are in tune with your sense. Not your external senses, your internal sense. Mastery is also about that. Peace, Jai, how are you, my love? So your behaviors become your identity and it precedes you. Do you understand what I'm saying? This is why a lot of y'all saying, what, do I got a signs all across my head saying, come fuck with me? Do I have a sign across my head saying "Come abuse me"? Do I have a sign walking going across my head saying that I'm weak? Do I have a sign walking around on my head saying that I'm desperate? Do I have a sign walking around? Do I have a sign on my head saying that, hey, 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 choose me, choose me? Is there a sign on my head saying that I don't have? Is there a sign on my head saying I'm in poverty, I'm in lack? Is there a sign on my head that says I'm the victim and not the victor? Is there a sign on my head? Yes, there's a sign on your metaphorical head. It's all in your energy, it's all in your frequency. It's all in your embodiment, and it's not lying. You're the only one that keeps being the trickster. You're the only one that don't want to acknowledge it. You're the only one that keep covering the mirror as if it's going to shrink your waist. You're the only one that think you're going to get the results without putting in the work. You're the only one that's fooling yourself because some of us can see you and sense you from a mile away. So you're not deceiving anyone, really. You're just deceiving yourself, which also keeps you in a repetitive cycle of repeating dysfunctional, unhealthy cycles. Coach Barrett, how are you, my love? Peace, peace, peace. Welcome in. We talk, for those of you who are just coming in, we're talking about breaking unhealthy cycles. And we are nearing the end where we're talking about the consequences of you not breaking them. Now, let me ask y'all a question. Let me ask y'all a question. I got a good one for you. Let me ask y'all a question. If a pipe bursts in your home, your apartment, condo, wherever you live, put in the comment section what you're going to do. If one of your water pipes bursted in your home, what are you going to do? If one of your pipes continue to leak in your home, what are you going to do? Turn the water off. Ashe. That's one of the things we can do. If a pipe was continually leaking inside your apartment, house, condo, what are you going to do? What do you do when something keeps leaking? You fix it. You fix it. Now, can someone also turn off the water and replace it? Now, can someone tell me the ways in which you can fix it? The ways in which we fix things? What are some of the ways you can fix the leaking pipe? There you go. I'll need, so call a plumber. I love that. Call a plumber. Call the professional. Go get some help, especially if you're not a plumber, right? This is the beauty of our uniqueness. This is the beauty of you being skillful at what you do, and I'm being skillful at what I do, right? How many of y'all just patched up the leaking pipe in the past? How many of y'all ever did that? How many of y'all just patched some things up in your life? How many of y'all done patched up some traumas in your life instead of fixing it? How many things, how many behaviors, specifically unhealthy behaviors, have you patched up instead of actually fixing it? I have. I know I have. If anything is left unaddressed, it is the beginning of the forming of the repetitive cycle that's going to be repeated. What are some of those consequences? Emotional stagnation, which is just your energy being stagnant. Unhealthy cycles limits your emotional capacity to grow. This is why individuals keep responding This is why individuals keep reacting. Infinite gratitude. Who just gave me that? Big Chef, thank you, because of infinite gratitude. This is why some of us, right? Let me put this on the screen over here so y'all can see, right? So this is why some of us keep reacting to situations the same way. Time, whenever somebody says something that pisses you off, whenever you see a color you don't like, whenever you hear a word you don't like, whenever you just witness it, you just immediately going off the handle. You Warish, how are you, my love? Welcome in. You just immediately flying off the chain, right? Unmet, repressed. This goes for things that you are repressing. Don't think that what you suppress goes away. What you repress implodes, it expands. Just because you think, just because you can't see it, don't mean it's not there. This leads to this leads to your inability to process what your energy is trying to tell you. Infinite gratitude, my love. Do you understand what I'm saying? Unmet, unaware. When you are unaware of these unhealthy behaviors, it impacts your relationships. How many of us are saying we want healthy relationships? How many of us hear the arguments? Oh my goodness. I know I'm not the only one that are going in that are hearing the discussions, not only in the world, but in the social media world where we're just bitching at each other, arguing with one another. Infinite gratitude, my love, where we just going back, tearing each other apart. We're so reactive. When you continually, knowingly or unknowingly repeat these unhealthy behavior cycles, it affects your relationships. And there's a lot of us that say, I want a healthy relationship with you. I don't want to keep arguing with you. I don't want to keep fighting with you. It drains your life force. Please understand the consequences. Why do so many of us have to just hit the wall to the point where we're knocked out for you to understand, to change your ways, change your ways, change your ways, change your behaviors, change your behaviors, change your behaviors. Why do we need to get there? We already foresee the outcome. It's not that you're ignorant to it. You've been doing it for I don't know how long, and all you keep you just some of y'all love being a parakeet. You keep saying you don't want to. You keep saying, I don't want to do this. I don't want to accept this. I don't want to go here. I don't want to go there. I want this. I want that. Or whatever it is. It's impacting not only your relationships with other people and your significant partners, it's affecting the relationship that you have with yourself. It's affecting the relationship that your mind and heart. This is why a lot of us are experiencing brain and heart incoherent. Do you understand what incoherence means? That means incoherent. That means they're not getting along. That means they're not in alignment with what should be, what it them should be in alignment with. Not dysfunction, not dis-ease, peace, clarity. Right? Understanding, will, drive. Repeating negative patterns like self-sabotaging beautiful opportunities that I know a lot of you were presented with. Repeating these negative, lowest states of consciousness behaviors like self-sabotage, projecting, it strains your relationships with others and yourself. And that's not what we want to continually do we? It reduces your mental and cognitive function, your mental health. Because if you're mentally incapacitated, guess what? That means that whether you like it or not, accept it or not, you've been knowingly or unknowingly allowing other people, places, and things to cipher off your energy to where not where you are now unable to function, right? So remember when I said in the beginning, if you are not protecting your vital life force, guess what? It's being siphoned off. That's where the weakness in your body comes from. That's where the weakness in your mind comes from. That's where the weakness in you having the ability to finally put a stop to the unhealthy behaviors that you are doing on a daily basis. It also limits your opportunities. So if you want this, you have to do what is in alignment with that. When we're caught in unhealthy cycles, our ability to take to take to embrace opportunities, I was about to say to take risks, but not but. However, I am now not going to push that narrative and that theology and concept, that the concept that says if there's no risk, there's no reward. I've elevated from that. So a lot of times you will hear me auto correct my language, auto correct what I'm saying to you. Because when you know better, it for me, I do better. This is what's called elevation. It is a real life example of elevation. Because if you understood the power in the words that you are using on a daily basis, not only externally, but your internal dialogue, heavily influences your behaviors. You would start auto correcting yourself too. So I no longer, my perception, perspective, and knowing is it doesn't have to be a risk for you to receive a reward. Instead, when you elevate in higher states of consciousness, when you expand your perception, your body and your mind will easily accept the idea and the concept and suggestion that it doesn't have to be a risk in order for me to be rewarded. It just needs your will and your effort. Do you see if I was to tell you right now, if I was to tell you right now, hypothetically speaking, if I was to tell, not you, I don't want to put that in your vortex or mine. If I was to hypothetically tell someone else, listen, no, I know. You only have $5,000 in your bank account. I know you only have that. However, this offer that I'm giving you, it is going to change your life financially forever. And I want you to understand, even though it's going to cost you $4,000, I also want to remind you that without the risk, there is no reward. How do you think your body, your mind is going to respond to that or react to that? I know you'd be like, wait a minute. However, what if we switched and retuned our perception? What if we auto correct how we receive things? What if we just did a little bit of tweaking? Marquise, how are you, my love? Right? What if instead you did away with the without any risk, there's no reward with when I make decisions that elevates me, uplifts me, encourages me, there will always be a reward. Who told you that you have to continually make risk in order for you to be rewarded? That's not a meta principle. It's not. It's a lie. It's a misconception. And it's called the law of exchange. You get what you give. And I understand how some people can be confused that it is be and have adopted that ideology because they've adopted that principle and that psychology in their behaviors. Well, and one would say, well, if I didn't make that risk, I wouldn't have received this. No, what psychologically and metaphysically and quantumly happened is that you exchanged something and you received something. Why does it always have to be a risk? Do you know how many people are rewarded with money, with an abundance of love and health and gifts? And these are these people that seemingly just they can't do no wrong because they understand and they embody these principles. Their psyche works different than others. Do you understand the languages the languages in which you speak lets people know exactly where you are and where you aren't, what you know and what you don't know. Ashe? And we need to understand that because it is important, right? We need to know this. Okay? A lot of you have said, I want to work with you. I want to work with you. I want to work with you, sad, bad. But so as soon as I present an opportunity to you, there goes them old dysfunctional behavior, unhealthy thoughts. There goes that repeating of them unhealthy cycles. There goes you not prioritizing yourself because if you think you wasn't summoned here by your higher self, you're in a wrong area of thought. Nothing happens, or should I say, everything that happens is not by coincidence, cohappenstance, or luck. It is happening and it is orchestrated by you. Now, the question is, you know that there is a version of you that summoned you to this particular space and time. And there's also another version of you that you've been operating in that is keeping you and wanting to hold on to that. You have to be the one to decide to say, no, I'm going to break that cycle. I'm going to break free and I'm going to choose my elevation because they're all you. Your lower self, middle self, highest self, they're all you. You get to choose where you want to be. And a lot of us are saying we want to get out of poverty. A lot of us are saying we just want consistent money flow to where we don't have to struggle or rob Paul to pay Penny. We saying we want to forge more healthy ways. We're saying all the things, and you should experience all the things, but that's not going to happen if you're too bound to your past, if you're too addicted to the unhealthy cycles, if you would rather choose this instead of this, because choosing this requires you to move up, but choosing this requires you to what? Continue doing nothing, thinking you're going to get the same results. The gag is nothing stays the same. So what you think isn't changing, it's changing because the meta law suggests that everything vibrates, everything moves, nothing is stagnant. This is why when you are and one of the primary techniques in going deeper within, tapping into your DNA, tapping into your higher self is stillness, right? It's closing your eyes. It's embracing the unknown when you have an opportunity to separate all of the external noise. And all noise ain't bad noise, right? Because there plenty of times I love to hear my children's voices. I love to hear to good music and stuff like that. I love to watch a good mental thriller movie. I love the external senses. I do. I'm in gratitude. But however, there are also times where you have to be in stillness, where the noise to cease in order for you to go within. However, because we are continually on these unhealthy cycles, there's so much noise. There's so much noise. But you're unable to even pay attention to your thoughts. And some of y'all think that when you meditate, it is the purpose of you not thinking. That's not the primordial purpose of that. However, when you start to slow down and sit in silence, guess what? Your mind and your body and your brain and heart starts to come into coherence. This is where you can tap into that theta state. This is where you can reprogram your subconscious. But if you're constantly the noise and consuming the noise, guess what? You're going to continually relive more and more of what you don't want. Ashe, Ashe. So, what I am going to do for the next 10 minutes is offer you an opportunity to work with me and to work with others like-minded with me. There are two different master trainings that I offer that takes you through foundational principles, and for those who just feel the urge and need and have done certain things and just want to learn what's required to get in alignment with money, I have two master programs: Creating Your Desired Reality, which gives you the fundamental principles of how to get into alignment, to quantum jump from the reality that you no longer want to exist in to you getting into alignment and living the reality that you want to exist in. Remember, there's no elevation without re-education, without relearning. So there's Creating Your Desired Reality, which gives you 9 fundamental foundational principles, practices, and each of them come with an exercise. And there is also Energetic Cells and Magnetic Money Master Training with another 7 foundational fundamental principles, practices that you need to understand that are based on indisputable quantum spiritual facts. Not fiction, not fluff, not hoopla. You are going to learn what you need to learn so you can live how you want to live. So you can finally break these unhealthy generational patterns, not just for you, but for your loved ones. I am also a best-selling author. I've written 4 books, and one of them is called Attracting What and Who You Desire. Reading is fundamental to your ascension, to your elevating, to your mastery. Ashe? And a lot of us, it's not that we don't want, we don't have the formula on how to get from point A to point B. And so I offer you an opportunity to invest in yourself by getting either one of those master trainings, creating your desired reality, or energetic cells and magnetic money, which will also grant you lifetime access as long as I exist on this earth. And we're in the season for this opportunity to exist because we're not going to always be here. Okay? Gives you lifetime access into the All Things Mastery Infinity Circle, where you get personal access to me every 2 weeks. We meet. And we're either teaching master lessons or we are holding each other accountable and we're actually doing hands-on training. Within that infinity circle, you also have access to ask me anything that you need. And I will be there to help you. There aren't many qualified mentors, coaches, professionals, whatever you call it, that will give you that access. And I don't even have to read you the results or the receipts or the reviews because I have them. Ashe? You too, my love. Am I freezing up? Damn it. Darn it. Okay, so that must be time for until next time. If I am not freezing, am I still freezing, Chef? It's a great program. Ashe. Okay. So listen, if you are interested and want to learn more, okay, if you're interested and want to learn more, click the link in my bio. All of the information is there. Both the master trainings are there. Take a moment or two to read how it will solve all of your problems. And I commit to that. I am committed to knowing that what's inside those trainings will solve all of your problems if you are willing to embody the principles and act on them. Okay? Okay. Oh, okay. Okay, so if that's the offer, okay? That is the offer. Now, hold on, TikTok. Infinite gratitude for my YT family, my FB family, and my now Twitch family. Thank you so much for joining me. It was an honor engaging with you. Thank you so much for coming on over to the live and spending time with us and sharing your comments. I do not take that lightly. Thank you so, so very much. And for those of you who don't know, I am typically live every Monday rising and Wednesday rising 10 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. And we talk all things mastery. Okay. And none of the days are different. Okay. And so today we were discussing how to break generational cycles. Last Monday, we spoke about perception. Okay. And and all of these things have to do with your ability to understand and elevate. So, infinite gratitude.